How long has it been since Visa ate food? I'll tell you how long it's been. It's been long enough. Ladies and gentlemen, hello. How is everyone? Welcome to the stream. Very simple stream today, simple idea. I'm going to play some Path of Exile for one reason. I like Path of Exile. I think it's a good game. Then I'm going to co-stream the reveal for the Path of Exile Affliction thing that's coming out pretty soon, and there'll be some news hopefully about Path of Exile 2 as well, because Path of Exile reached out to me and they said, hey Josh, do you want to co-stream the Path of Exile stream, which basically just means I watch it live and you watch it along with me, and I can't really talk while that stream is happening because I don't want to talk over the the actual stream, and you guys have got details you want to hear, you don't want to miss them, so I pretty much just sit here in silence and watch them stream for a bit, which I'm going to be honest is great. Like, that's brilliant. Shall I mime it? Shall I do an interpretive dance to it? That's what I should do. It's just weird when a business, like a big business, a big company comes to me and says, Josh, we'd like you to co-stream our announcement. And I'm like, that's fine. I can do that. Do you want me to comment on it? Do you want me to talk about it? Do you want me to give my input on it? Do you want me to, add to it? And they're like, no, not really. We just want you to shut up and watch it. Okay. I can do that. I might have to try really hard not to talk too much, but I'm pretty sure I can just shut up and watch somebody else stream for a bit. It's brilliant. It's like being a reaction streamer. It's great. You just sit there and watch somebody else's hard work, and then you just say, should I occasionally just go like, wow, oh, that's crazy. Oh, for real? Yeah, oh, that's crazy. Yeah, maybe we should put like gameplay of Subway Surfers in the bottom of it or something. Or that game, like the Grand Theft Auto thing, where the car rolls down the downhill slope and you see how many times it flips or it gets to the bottom, something like that. Okay, I should like cut some kind of foam with a sharp knife or a hot knife on the corner of the screen. Maybe we should put like a Family Guy clip on the bottom just to make sure we keep everyone interested and engaged. Because, you've got to really focus on the retention. That's what it is now. You've got to focus on the retention. Sign it in real time for the hard of hearing. Okay, so look, real talk. I used to work in a shop. I used to work retail. And occasionally there would be customers come in who were hard of hearing. And there is that moment. Everyone does this. There is that moment where you very briefly think, do I know sign language? And of course the answer is no. I have absolutely no idea how to say anything in sign language, any version of sign language whatsoever. But there is still that moment where someone walks up to me and starts talking and they say, sorry, I'm hard of hearing, or they have a card that says I'm hard of hearing. And I'm thinking, what do I know? I've seen this on TV. I've seen the films. How do I move my... I know it's just incredibly insulting for me to even try. But I have to stop my brain. Be like, Josh, no. You don't know this. Don't pretend that you do. That's incredibly insulting to people who do know this. Just walk. Just find somebody better qualified than you for this situation. That's what we need to do. Anyway, guys, how is everyone? I'm going to play Path of Exile. I'll tell you how I'm going to play Path of Exile. I'm going to go 100% defense build because I realized my problem last time. The problem I had last time was my health kept getting reduced to 0. I've realized now that is bad. So, if I have a build where my health does not get reduced to 0, I might survive more. All right? This is what you've said. More, kill more, die less. This is what you get when you log into the stream. You get absolute top of the range Path of Exile advice. You don't get that from anywhere else. That's my alarm to go to work. That's how much I care about all of you. See, I'm here on time. I'm actually here 5 minutes early. That means I can leave 5 minutes early as well. That's the law. That's what the teacher told me once. Is it a Strife mug? Yes, it is. It says Strife coffee on it. See? It's a Strife. I don't think that's actually a brand specifically. Part of the deal is like no brands when you're doing sponsored content. I'm like, okay, we're not going to check, are we? Nobody's going to check this. Julie, thank you very much for the sub. Welcome to the stream. Hopefully you're having a lovely day. Is the new league already? This will be information about the new league in about 51 minutes. Until then, I'm probably going to get 5 minutes into this gameplay. Now, this is a special game mode called Ruthless. And if you haven't seen Ruthless before, imagine Path of Exile, but harder enemies and fewer item drops. Like, way fewer drops. Okay, that means every small drop is important. You know, my goodness me, Tal, thank you very much for the gifted subs. That's remarkably kind of you. If you just, how am I coping with the chilliness this week? Okay, so I've actually been in Bulgaria for the last 4 days on a business trip that I will talk about more at some point because I want to focus on Path of Exile now. But I've been in Bulgaria for the last 4 days, and I have to say, Bulgaria is a beautiful country. Like sorry, my cat already needs food. Beautiful country. The snow, the landscapes, the mountains, the wilderness. It is a gorgeous country. It really is. And the main city of Sofia is, again, stunning. The amount of buildings there, the gorgeous hotel, fantastic statue in the center of Sofia, this huge golden angel statue. It's really cool. Hang on, the cat requires sustenance. Yes, you may come in. I may feed you. That's it, yes. Make me look all professional and stuff. Here is your food. You are welcome. There we go. Perfect timing for the cat. Like, she's done nothing but nap all day. She's literally been asleep all day. And then as soon as it comes time for a stream, she's like, Father, I require sustenance. That's what she's like. Oh, also, yeah, I haven't streamed for a while because I've been busy making videos, and this means that Visa, the clip guy, has been forced to, unfortunately, dig back into the annals of history and attempt to find clips from videos that I made like 5 years ago. So I respect Visa for doing that, but I also look back at me from 5 years ago, and part of me thinks, wow, you were a bit pretentious. And then I realized, nope, that's just me. And then part of me thinks, wow, you were in much better shape. You should probably not have eaten the amount of Ferrero Rocher that you ate over the following 5 years. The chocolate pizza incident, that was a moment that we learned from. I have not purchased a chocolate pizza since then. I have, however, purchased many melted cookie dough things from various dessert parlours that for some reason have popped up all around the UK in the last 5 years. You walk down a UK high street, it's nail bars, vape shops and dessert parlours. One of these appeals to me. So yeah, unfortunately, the chocolate pizza incident was the beginning of choices. And I'd just like to point out again, I do not have a double chin. However, this lighting makes it look like I do. If I sit that way, you can see that there is a definite line there. Unfortunately, when I look this way, it's because this, I'm going to say it, but you just bear with me, okay? Because this bit of beard is on the neck, not neck beard, but beard which is placed on neck. If I look that way, you can tell it's fine. I look this way, you can tell it's fine. It's difficult. The problem is, anyone who starts a sentence with, I'm not a neck beard, but, that but is doing a lot of heavy lifting to pretty much just erase the start of that sentence. You know? That's a neck beard, my man. It's not a neck beard. It's part of my neck has whiskers, which may or may not be regarded as beard-like. All right? That's as specific as I'm willing to be with this. Now, I'm going to go and click some zombies, and we're all going to stop talking about the unfortunate facial hair situation. I've taken damage and almost died immediately. Okay, so we're playing hardcore mode right now, the ruthless mode, which means enemies are harder, items are fewer and far between. Now, of course, ruthless mode is the only mode that really challenges a Path of Exile god-tier gamer like myself. Like, look how I smashed this barrel. That actually hurt a little bit, so I'm going to drink a potion. But in general, yes, ruthless mode is far fewer items. If I do 3 attacks of that, do we do a special thing? 25% reduced enemy stun threshold, knocks enemies back on hit. Cool, okay, I can do that. That's simple. Enemies are not harder in ruthless mode. Halo, I'm trying to make myself seem impressive here, okay? You're sitting there, you're backseat gaming, you're saying that what I'm saying is a lie. Do you think I would lie to you? I would never lie to you, ever. I have never lied to anyone, apart from just then. That was a lie. But everything else, pure truth. But no, Bulgaria was lovely. Bulgaria was really nice. I will tell all in another stream. For now, the focus is entirely on Path of Exile. And I'm looking forward to co-streaming because I want some more information on Path of Exile 2. Don't get me wrong, I really like Path of Exile 1. I do genuinely think it's a very well-made game with a lot of excellent mechanics. But I am excited after I've seen the gameplay of 2. Oh man, that stuff looked good. That stuff looked really good. As long as I believed it. It is not a lie. I was just wrong. Move a little, need to see your HP. Yognator, you need me to move so you can see the hit point counter. Are you saying that I'm in the wrong place? That's fine. Hang on, let me sort this out for you. There we go. Okay, now you can see the hit point counter, no problem at all. So what I'm going to do is, it's very rare that I get offered a sponsored stream of a game that I like. Like, I very much get offered loads of sponsored stuff from games that I don't like. And, oh man, my email inbox, I swear to God, it is just, hey, would you please play this terrible game? Would you play this terrible game or this terrible game? And the answer to all of them is always no, because I don't want to. That does not spark joy. I don't feel comfortable selling products to you guys that I don't personally believe in. Now, there are many products that want me... Did that guy just get all his health back or something? What? How is that fair? How did you just get all your... What? Okay, now he's doing more. Also, why are my health things not fun? Don't my health things recharge? I thought that my... Oh god, there's more enemies over there. Right, you said that the enemies weren't harder in this mode. I am struggling to believe that. It's... Do health potions not recharge in Ruthless mode? When you kill dudes, they recharge with kills. Oh. Okay, well, this is like a no-death Ruthless run. So, hope you all are ready for that. Because no-death Ruthless run. Does his health recharge? Aha! Oh, I've got this. See how I game. Okay, hang on. I've got to just actually focus on this for a second. Nope, I stopped focusing. You guys, you put me off. I've got to bait an attack. And that's okay, because I'm a master at doing that. Nearly said that sentence in a wrong way, which would have very much been Visa's downfall. Let's just, hang on, wait, stop. Stop. I need to kill this thing first. God damn, okay. Oh. Look, you'd said that things refill when I kill things. That killed it, didn't refill. Boom, son, get on my level. Never even doubted. Never, ever in doubt. Some of you were sat in there right now thinking, oh, he's not going to do it. Ye of little faith. Let me smack some crabs around with this big club. Hang on, you doubted. Juliet, you did doubt. Are there any games you've already reviewed and would like to revisit in the future because you change your mind about them? So, Chekhov, that's a really good question. I like that. I would very much like to revisit all of the games that I've played at some point. Hang on, so that's attacks per second. What button is that? That's it. Compare. So Driftwood Club, 6 to 8. 10% stun threshold, 6 to 8. That's pretty much it. 1.45. It's the same. It's the same club. They're both crap. Can I double? Yes! Double fisting action. Not like that. But, like, why is my camera still in the middle? Hang on. Let's just go down there. That's fine. That's much better. So, yeah, I would love to replay many, many of the MMOs that I've played before because I want to see if they make changes. I really do. I love this genre. No, not Alchemia Story. Let's go slow. All right? I love the genre. And when I make a suggestion, sometimes, it doesn't happen often, but sometimes I am wrong. Sometimes I learn, occasionally. Now, remember, I was a teacher, so it's very difficult for me to admit that I was wrong or that sometimes I learn. It's the first day of teacher training college. They say to you, no matter what, you never admit you're wrong. And turns out that's a really bad strategy. It makes you dislike teachers. So I would love to go back, replay, revisit my old videos and say, you know what, that was correct, that was incorrect. That's important. Like, is Metin 2 still using the ice creams for the comets on the floor? Who knows? No one knows. Could you move yourself back into the middle, maybe increase in size a bit too? Thanks in advance. Yes, I can. Hang on. There we go. This is the stream now. Get used to it. Me and all my 720 glory. Okay, so what was that? Quick step. Perform a series of quick steps toward a targeted location. I may as well equip it just because it's doing nothing else. That is currently on middle mouse button. I want to say middle mouse? Yes, it is. Okay. Right. And now I can just smack things with the club. We can hit things quicker. Perfect. Beautiful stuff. We can definitely see the neckbeard now. Oh, no. Oh, that's a problem. Look at that. Didn't even shave. Didn't even do it. Living my best life for the last couple of days. Just been living around, not even shaven. That's the, I've just run out of care. I do like how you smack twice with two things. Give me an iron hat. Iron hat armor 11, armor 13. That's actually a big upgrade. That is the ideal upgrade at this point in the game. Make myself slightly smaller. Ruthless is easier when you are big. That's true. That's very true. Typical British man posing in front of a brutal massacre. That's what we do. That is very much. So here's the thing. I was talking to AlphaCast, who is a really big French streamer. Lovely guy. And I said, hey, because we both like Warhammer a lot. And I said, Alpha, when Warhammer The Old World comes out, which is the kind of fantasy style stuff again, we should get together and we should have a game, and you should play Bretonia, because that's pretty much based on the French heraldry and stuff like that, and I should do what the English do best and play an amalgamation of all of the models that I can steal. That to me seems thematic. I think that would fit. And he hasn't got back to me yet, but I think it's a good idea. I think it's a very good idea. But no, so Path of Exile. They contacted me. They said, hey, can you play a game? I'm like, yep, already do. Not a problem. I will play it. I will pretend I'm good at it. And then we can look at the next. Honestly, I'm pretty much just waiting for Path of Exile 2. If the next league they're bringing out looks interesting, sweet, I'll give it a go. But otherwise, it is just going to be a big thing for PoE 2. Open the passive skill screen. Spend your passive skill point. Ah, yes, the terrifying screen. We all like this one. So, I've got one skill point to spend, and because I am a barbarian man, I'm starting over here. Now, I'm pretty much just going for defense. Life, increased physical damage, armor, maximum life. We're just going for a load of armor. That's the plan. Life and armor. That is what I want to do. We apply life and armor. Everything. Everything is that. Kill Hillock. I've already... What? I've already killed Hillock. Now I can go through here. Sweet. Into Lion's Eye already. Look at me. Me being like a professional. Got out the tutorial, to be fair, in record time. Talk to Tarkley for your reward. Tarkley, where be you, my dude? Where are you, my dude? Come over here. First waypoint unlocked. Remember, this is ruthless mode, which only a few people can do. You know, it's a challenge. Challenge that not many people have ever taken on. I am here with all of you to impress you with my gaming skills. Ground Slam. Molten Strike or Shield Crush. I do want to do Shield Crush because I will be using a shield at some point, but I don't yet have a shield. So possibly Molten Strike. You know what? Another version, I'm not going to care too much. I'm not allowed to make any decisions take longer than 10 seconds. Everything must be immediately chosen, straight away. That's a new rule I'm giving myself right now. Because otherwise, you know what's going to happen with this. You know what's going to happen. They added, as a fan said, it should be added to save people time. Oh, really? I did not know that. I actually did not know that. See, I will admit that there are some things I don't know about. Finally caught a live stream. Path of Exile is definitely interesting. I love reckless decisiveness, man. That's what we're going to do. Just play the game. No talking about builds, no discussions. Just play the game straight away. In. No thinking. Just hit stuff with stick. No stinking whatsoever. Dark, good evening to you. Welcome to the stream. So Q is Molten Strike, infuse weapon, and then slap someone. All right, let's go slap people, shall we? Let's go slap people with my club. Hopefully dead people. Where are you? You can hold shift to attack without moving. Why would you ever want to? Okay, that's... I'm dying a lot. Hang on. Wait. Stop. Right, this is not going as I expected it to go. But... Wait. There's a but. We need to actually use the potions at the right time. That was ruthless. Alright, that was very ruthless. This is ruthless mode. That was actually quite dangerous. I'm quite scared of dying. I don't want to die. I want to see how far I can get without dying. The latest MMO I've been playing for the worst MMO series, I've been trying to do without dying. Like being really serious with myself. Really serious. Taking it very seriously. It's just less loot. You'll be fine. You say that. Have you seen me? Okay, so... Projectiles deal less damage with hits. Something else happens. Infuse your weapon with energies and attack causes balls of molten magma to launch forth from the enemies you hit. Right, so I want to slap someone with that. Oh, that's actually quite useful. Whoa! Don't know what that noise was, but that was me being scared. Hang on. You don't need to infuse your stick with magical energy. Sometimes a slap is enough, you know? All this magic is for wizards, it's for mages. I don't need this. I'm just going to slap things with a stick. That's what I'm going to... Shut up, okay? That whoa was an involuntary whoa. You can't have a go at me for that. You are the executioner of MMOs. If you die, you just can kill the genre itself. Just take it down with me. I'm slowly working my way up. You know, I don't kill MMOs. I put them in front of an audience. And unfortunately, sometimes they're just not good enough to carry on by themselves. All I do is put them in front of an audience. What the game does after that, entirely up to the game. Hang on. Let's keep attacking this dude by clicking a lot. I know the joke of, oh, you've killed that game. Sometimes a game is on its death knell. It's on its last legs. It's standing on that cliff. And all I'm doing is just standing there, giving it that final push, you know? That makes it sound worse in several ways, but that's just the reality. Sometimes people just don't want to admit that the game they like is dying. And if I need to give it that final death knell, then that is my job. That is my job. I mean, yeah, it's it's a similar analogy to the one that you've just given there. Yes, I wouldn't say it's exactly like that, but I get where you're coming from. I am picking up what you're putting down, and my potions need to be better. I very much need some better potions. Look at me playing with one hand like I know what I'm doing. You know, maybe don't stand in the red. Oh, that's more red. Right, I've realised what it is. That's the noise I make whenever someone breathes fire at me. We've learned something today. I've learned something about myself. You've learned something about me. That is the noise made when someone spits fire at me. Yeah? If it happens again, it will happen again. All right? I make no apologies for it. That will happen. Just letting you know. Need more health. I'm quite liking the lack of items, though. It does make item drops feel like a big deal. Ooh, like, is there something on this impaled... Yeah, there is! There's actually a tower shield on that! That's brilliant! Ho! 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 Ho. Alright, so that apparently is the noise I make when someone does that. Okay, I need to run away, pick up this tower shield, and then continue to run away. Wait. That was a pointless dodge right there. How far is the enemy aggro range? Just because it seems like it's quite far. I'm going to put my cup of tea down because we're about to play seriously. All right. That was close. Just hang on. I can't talk to you guys right now while playing this. This is an extremely serious bit of game. They've left some fire on the floor. Nope, don't read the weather. Alright, cool, I'm basically dead. So let me just run away. This is known as a tactical retreat. Shut up. All of you. Don't worry about it. I know what happened. Alright, we're going to reassess. We're going to reassess, rethink. I know what happened. That person's there with me. I see. Splintered tower shield. Chance to block. That's what I didn't have. Tactical indeed. It's a backwards advance. What I actually did just then was show you the technique to return to town fast. Most people don't know that. Alright, that is the fastest way to teleport back to town quickly. You wish you knew that. Nice. Bit of Path of Impossible skill tree. How did I fare thus far? It's very easy. I'm taking no longer than 10 seconds to make a decision. For example, here we go. 1 skill point available. Life and armor, more life, more strength. Yeah, more armor, more life. There we go. Cool. That's all I'm doing. Apply points. We're just going for 100% armor and life. That's it. If it gives me more armor and more life, I'm taking it. That's the whole thing. That's all we're doing. Armor and life. Because I sometimes die. And when that happens, it's not my fault. So, if I have more armor and more life, I will die less. Anyway, Visa, the guy that runs JoshStrifeSays, has been starving for the last couple of days. He requires some clips. So what we can do, I think this is the easiest thing to do, is we just give him some completely out of context clips, and then he just uploads those, and people are like, oh my god, where does this story begin? Where does it go to? You know, we've got to watch the stream to find out. So, guys, let's finish some stories off without starting them, and then Visa can just compile them together. And that's how they made me king of the goats at the petting zoo. And after that, my grandmother was crowned in Switzerland. Unfortunately, none of them survived. See? Guys, give me some suggestions. And that's how I watched an admiral get arrested. Perfect. So it's like a Family Guy cutaway. What we're doing is strong... Yeah, all of those have been about British imperialism. Maybe it turns out that when my brain goes to, quick, make something up, my brain just rewinds to like the 1700s. And they're like, ha-ha, tally-ho, chaps, off we go. Let's see what the first thing we come up with is. Yes, and that's why I always wear a vest. It was a harrowing, terrifying tale, but that's where it came from. Yeah. And that's how I saved the elephant from choking. See? There we go. And it all ended up in the British Museum. Why does all this random stuff have a strong colonialism vibe? I think I've learned something about myself. I need to talk to somebody about this. I think, you know, we've all got demons in the closet. Apparently mine's a guy in like a tan suit and a pith helmet going, come on, Josh, let's go and retake everything. No, apparently it's a thing. That's how I lost my earlship. We're getting even more middle class. Even more. And that is how the necromancer raised his family. Look, I stand by the notion that a necromancer is just a cleric with terrible timing. That's what they are. Because a good necromancer just wants to raise a family. If you don't appreciate puns, you can leave. It's okay. Because there's going to be more. There's going to be very, very more. And that's how I discovered that you could fit 3 bodies inside a sailboat box. I was thinking, what's the storage space in a boat called? And like, hold, I suppose is the word I was going for there. There we go. What is there more of by weight on Earth? Tea or socks? Alright, guys. Right, no, hang on. Stop. Okay, I need some scales. How heavy is a sock? Because there's roughly 8 billion people on Earth. Not everyone has socks. How many people on Earth do we think own socks? How many people own 1 pair, 2 pairs, 3 pairs, 4? What is the average number of socks owned by a human being? All right, let's just hang on. Because we all know that 1 kilogram of socks does way more than 1 kilogram of tea, because socks are bigger and denser. You could fit like 5 tea in a sock, but you couldn't fit 5 socks in a tea. So that means that they do weigh more, even though they weigh the same. So I think not everyone on Earth drinks tea, but not everyone on Earth has socks. So we can't even use the everyone having it. Hang on, no, we need... Right, stop. Let me kill these guys first, then we're getting back to this very important question, because I need an answer. You, Mr. Flamethrower, can die first. Let me slap you around a bit. I do think that putting all my points into defense is going to be a good idea. It doesn't mean that things won't die, but I'm things, and me not dying is also good. How many teabags are there on Earth at any given time? Somebody call Yorkshire tea. How many socks are there? Devil has said, finally caught you live streaming. Devil, I have a task for you. Go on Google. How many socks exist in the world? What is the average weight of a sock? And then can we put them all together? At least, Paradox says at least one. All right, well, you know what? What we're doing right now is gathering data. So that is a parameter. That is a range. At least one. Right, according to the internet, there are 21,239.5 million pairs of socks. Right. Okay. So how many... How much does a sock weigh? Does someone have a pair of scales near them? Can somebody please go and weigh a single sock? There's 780 people currently in this stream. One of you is sat by a pair of scales. One of you can do this. One of you can go and weigh a pair of socks. Until that happens, we will wait here. I'm not going anywhere. It's okay. What is heavier, a pound of socks or a pound of tea? Pound of socks, obviously. Right, 3.5 ounces per sock. Can you split that into grams, because I am English and ounces mean nothing to me. That's just a strange weight and measurement that I see in recipe books that I don't follow. So let's just have a look. So we've gone with 29 grams. Thank you. 29 grams a pair. I like how several of you have all just put the same number. Like there's legitimately right now there are several people in the world weighing socks. I appreciate this. Okay? I appreciate this a lot. So 29. Can my calculator handle this? That's the question. So 29 grams times how many socks were there in the world? There was a big number. So 21,239 million. So 21,239 and then 6 zeros. That comes to 615,931 million grams. So divide that by what? How many grams are in a kilogram? It's 1,000 because kilo is 1,000. Divide that by 1,000. Okay, cool. So 615 million kilograms of socks. Let me write this down. Hang on. This is very important. Someone remember that. 615 million kilograms of sock material. Now we need to work out how much tea is in the world. Tons. It doesn't matter how many tons. 615 million kilograms. We're using proper imperial units here. And by... When I say imperial units, is imperial units tons or kilograms? I can never remember. It sounds smart to say it that way, but I can never actually remember which one is which. Can you show your socks now, please? No, because my socks are Pokemon socks with Pokeballs on them, and I think that will get me sued by Nintendo. Metric is science. Okay, we're going with kilograms. 650 million kilograms. How many tea bags are there in the world? I think we've gone with between one and a lot. 6.5 million tons of tea are produced each year. Is that true? Okay, hang on. Or a night. 6.5 million tons of tea. What is that in kilograms? Visa, why the fuck do we need to... Visa, you shut up, okay? Visa, you literally wanted clips. I am 99% sure that you were starving. And now you've got me talking about whether tea or socks are heavier for the last 10 minutes. You should be eating well. So 6.5... So 1,000 kilograms equals a ton. Oh, okay. Interesting. Does this mean that there are actually more socks? Because remember that the tea doesn't all get drunk. There could be tea bags out there produced a year ago that have still not been drunk. I think we require more scientific evidence into this. More research. I need to talk some research. Yes, but the weight of socks are heavier than he used. Potentially. The oceans are just cold tea. That's true. If you throw a single tea bag in the ocean, it is a very weak cup of tea. That's very true. This conversation needs some quotes from the first episode of Blackadder 3. Blackadder was excellent. Now, I've got out the tutorial and I have travelled to Tidal Island dying once. In 20 minutes, we get to watch the reveal of Affliction, the next kind of expansion thing. And I'm excited for that. I want to see if I can get at least one more level. But that's mostly just me slapping stuff with a club. What if I don't even think? Switch brain off, slap with stick. No think, just stick. There we go. Perfect. Don't think. Thinking is what's losing me so far. Oh, you guys are really tough. What the hell? Why are you so tough? Maybe I could use some fire. Why are you so bloody tough? Oh, they have extra life. Okay, cool. That makes sense. That's fine. I have extra life. These guys are well tough. Stop. We're halfway there. This is the thrilling gameplay I know that you all sign up for. You're like, oh, can't wait to see Josh beat off 4 dudes. Fuck. Not in that way. Stop it. I'm focusing on gameplay right now. I don't have time to make puns. My brain is very much focusing on just whacking some guys. Again, fuck. Oh, they're nearly dead. They're nearly dead. Hang on. That's it. Go to sleep after you've been beaten off. Stop it. Stop. If anyone from the Path of Exile team is watching and they're like, this is a sponsored stream, not anymore. It's going to get an email being like, Josh, we need to talk. Was it about the guys? Yeah, that's what it'll be about. You do this to yourself. Come on, Josh, they're nearly finished. They now are. They're all just lying together in a big pile on the floor. It's great. Impaled corpse. That's what they could be if they were lucky. Plate vest. Plate vest is good. Armor 24. I put it on straight away. Sweet. That's good. Much. Oh, hang on. Driftwood club. Damage 6.8. Glass shank 6.10. That is better. But I will need to put that there. Switch you for you. So the glass shank is increased global critical strike. Yeah, lovely. Now we're good. Got a little glass shank going on. Start stabbing some people. Oh, for some reason it's changed my... Why do I not have an attack anymore? Do I need the attack to be in the club or something? Because my right click is now no longer working. Do I require that? Okay, requires a mace, scepter, axe, or two-handed weapon. Right. Okay, cool. Gotcha. I don't have that. It's the default attack. That's fine. I've only got stick proficiency. That's fine. This glass shank is actually fine just to use like this. I'm just left-clicking a lot. Easy. Easy stuff. But can you make tea with a sock? I mean, you could do, because a tea bag is just a bag of tea. And I know that sounds very simple and very obvious, but when you think about it, it's just a bag with some tea in it. And what is a sock if not a bag for your foot? Deep thoughts. Deep thoughts with Josh. That's what we're getting into right now. What is a sock if not a bag for your foot? Yeah, the sock. The thinking man's bag. Yeah, start every day by putting your feet inside 2 little bags. It's true, you actually do that. It's horrible to think about, but that is the actual reality of life. I know that nobody wants to admit it, but that does happen. Excellent, skill gem has leveled up, and the plate vest 24, 34 and 12. Boom, son. Way better. Stick that to there. Portal, scroll back to town. I like this reduced item mode a lot. This is good. Hey Josh, big fan. Finally up early enough to catch you live. I'm sorry this is the stream that you've caught. We've gone through tea bags and socks so far. That's pretty much it. So deep my brain has ascended. In French, bad coffee is called sock juice. The French. Very smart. Very smart. Smart group of people. Sometimes when it's cold, you put your feet in fluffier bags. It's true, you do. Who had those fluffy socks when they were a kid? They were great. They were really warm. I love those. How goes the move situation? Moving house is one of the worst things. Whoever invented moving house, I hope they have to move house 4 or 5 times. I mean, I've moved house at least 4 or 5 times in my life because my parents moved around a lot for some reason. And it never gets easier. The amount of stuff that you forget that you have to do, the amount of companies that you have to contact, and the amount of companies that even when you update them on your new address, they're like, oh, we're gonna ignore that. We're going to send all of the mail to the old address. And then when you contact us, we're going to say, okay, but what we'll do is we'll send a letter. to your old address, which you have to get and then forward to us with your new address. And I'm like, guys, do you not get how dumb that sounds? Do you not understand? But no, in real talk, it is an annoyingly complicated thing to do. A superior glass shank. I'm just using a basic glass shank. Hang on. Hang on. Look at this. Superior. Quality is higher. Damage is higher. That is better in every way. We're about to do some superior stabbing, guys. Get ready for this. It's about to increase a lot. We recently moved. The new address is getting so much mail from the previous owners. It does. Happens all the time. How is my gym progress? Okay, so about a month ago, I came down with the old Rona. You know, round 2. I'd had it about a year ago. My body decided, hey, it's been a while. Maybe I should try it again, see what it's like. Absolutely floored me. Honestly, I'd like to think I'm a relatively healthy person. I was gone. It absolutely knocked me for 6. I couldn't even get out of bed on a couple of days. Seriously, I would wake up, I would sit up, and my entire body would be like, no, man. No, you gotta lie down. Just give up. This day is a waste. It's 10 a.m. and you've already failed. Just go back to bed. And I just agreed with it. I was like, you know what? Fair play. So yeah, we did that. And now I'm finally better. And I want to get back to the gym. I really do. I want to get back, get hench, get tough, get big, get buff. That's my plan. If I don't keep buff, I'm going to lose my position as Discount Henry Cavill. And we can't be doing that. I can't be losing my Discount Henry Cavill position. That's like the only thing I'm known for. That's what it is. You promised me. Visa, I did promise you. And I will get back to the gym. 100% I definitely will. Yeah, get hench, get tough, get ripped, get buff. I'm a poet, and I wasn't previously aware of this. I have missed you. I've missed you too. Thank you for being in the stream, by the way. I'm sorry I suck at streaming. It's because I'm bad at schedules. Also, it's because YouTube is taking an absolute ton of time to do two channels. The next worst MMO ever, by the way, is going to be The Age of Conan, which wasn't bad. That's pretty much it. That's the end. That's the review. You don't need to watch it now. I've saved you some time. It's just not bad. That's what it is. Josh wants to be Sainsbury's Henry Cavill. He's currently at Tesco Henry Cavill. I would settle for Waitrose Henry Cavill. That's what I'm going to aim for. Currently, I think I'm Lidl. I'm Little Henry Cavs. That's what it is. Need to get better. But for real, Age of Conan was actually had some good systems. Had some good choice. I quite liked it. And they've still not even installed Baldur's Gate 3. It's like I've got the files, I just haven't installed them yet. Because I know as soon as I do, as soon as I install that game, none of you are getting any videos or streams for like a month. Alright? That's going to happen. Anyway, new skill point available. What's this? Increased armor, increased life. Yes, done. Fantastic. Apply points. Don't think. Just increase armor. No thinks. Just stabs. Yeah, here we go. Okay, so these guys are evasive. They are very evasive. Look at them. My goodness. Are they regaining health somehow? Could you not? Okay, so if I do the fireball thing, you guys pretty much nope. Whoa. Oh, that's so unfair. There's so many of them. That's very... I've got to kill them to get my potions back, but killing them is difficult. This guy as well is throwing some ice at me, so I really want to kill him first. Oh, God, okay, that was bad. Let me just... There we go. Now it's just a case of slapping this guy around. A lot. I don't think I'm going to kill them this time. Alright, so I got him down. Now it's just a case of hitting this guy without being frozen. Unfortunately, he is freezing me a lot. Yeah, I need a central target attack for this. And I don't think I currently have the single target damage that I need. That was close, though. See? We're hitting. We're shanking. Yeah, we're gonna die. It's fine. Don't worry. Part of the plan. Part of the plan. I actually wanted that. This is good. This is good. I wanted to teleport to town so I can sell some items. That is 38.38. That is 34.12. Do I want energy shield or evasion? I think I want evasion more. So let's just stick on that instead. Take you off and pop it there. Everything else is fine. I can sell some stuff now. Let's sell some things. Now, what I am told is that this version of the game, you sell for far fewer things. It is much, much harder and much rarer to get anything, pretty much. And then when you buy things... Oop, that is my 10-minute alarm. When you buy things, they are much, much more expensive as well. So I've currently got 1 scroll fragment. A stack of 5 becomes a scroll of wisdom. I've got 5 scrolls of wisdom. And these things cost orbs of transmutation, it seems. Right. Okay, so yeah, it's going to take a while to actually be able to buy basically anything with this. I'm in Ruthless. Yes, I am in Ruthless. I am in Ruthless because I am tough. How did I decide to come to Bulgaria? I was actually on a business trip. I was on a business trip doing some consulting, which I will fill you in on in the future. But for now, we have 10 minutes until the official kind of Path of Exile stream starts. Very excited about this one. Let's just refresh, see if it started yet. It's live. Okay, cool. 39 minutes, apparently. Should we just watch the timer? You ready? Should we just... Hang on, let's see if this works. Let's see if this works instead. It should work. Here we go. This is the stream now. I'm wondering what's going to happen when 38 minutes gets to 0 seconds. "38 minutes is roughly, in video game time, 2 the bouncers." Hang on, it's getting close. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. Wait, 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 wait! It's 37. Okay, cool. Yeah, I get it. Right, cool. So that's on and ready, and we'll get there soon. But for now, unfortunately, you need to watch me play Path of Exile. You don't get a choice. You have to watch me. This is my game now. This is my stream. Purchase item. What do you sell? You sell basic stuff. Okay, so everything costs orbs of transmutation. How do I get orbs of transmutation? Do they drop from enemies? Are they like super rare? Oh, I bet they are, aren't they? Oh, I bet they're like really rare drops from enemies. I hate this. But this is Ruthless mode, which is much, much, much harder. I was just about to go, no, you can't. Soggy Bob. Good evening, Soggy Bob. Soggy Bob, you best be at the next Insomnia, because you were an absolute highlight. You know you were a highlight. If anyone in the UK is going to the Insomnia Fest in Birmingham, I am pretty much always there. One of my favourite gaming festivals, hang out with people a lot, really good time. Greetings from Bulgaria. I was just in you, and by that I mean Bulgaria, not you specifically. But welcome. Welcome, viewers from Bulgaria. Hopefully you are having a lovely time. In Ruthless, they are somewhat rare. Okay, cool. They are somewhat rare. I'll take that. Have I tried asking nicely for them? You know what, I haven't. Look at you in your pay-to-win gear. Do you mean my plank shield and my little glass shiv that I'm going to try and stab into some angry man over here? Very, very pay to win. 100%. That's all we are right now. I'm trying to find any enemies that I haven't killed, because I pretty much need to farm for experience in this mode to not die. That's what we need to do. Flexing on us with the drip. This is streamer treatment. If Chris Wilson, if good old Sea-Dog is in the chat, as I know he will be, he needs to give me some better drops, because this, right now, this ain't cutting it, mate. This ain't cutting it. You're meant to be making me look good, all right? You're meant to be making me look good at your game, and it's very hard to do that. One, when I'm so bad at your game, despite liking it,
And 2, when you're not giving me the drops, all right? Jagex sorted me out with some sweet drops. What are you doing? What are you doing? You just sat there being like, he's got to play the game like everyone else. That's... If I wanted to play the game like everyone else, mate, I wouldn't have become a YouTuber, would I? Okay? Streamer carries. That's what we need. Can't believe it. Josh can't work without teacher's notes. It's very true. You can level up your gem on the right-hand side of the screen. It's the gem that I can't use because it doesn't work with shivs. But, hey, you know, it's okay. We got there. But it is the gem that I can't use. It is the point... What are you? Oh, cannibal. She did like this weird thrust dance when she walked up to me, like the cannibal mating ritual. Pretty sure there's a button you can hold to see any drops, and I'm not seeing literally any drops right now. Technically, I'm a Twitch streamer right now, not a YouTuber. What do you guys see me as? Do you see me as a Twitch streamer? Do you see me as a YouTuber? Or do you see me as a failure? Because one of those is correct. Because when people say, oh, the Twitch streamer or the YouTuber, what do you associate with me? Influencer. Oh, God, I hate the word. Do you ever hate a word and yet it is the most accurate word for a situation? I'll give you an example. I dislike the word banter. And yet, it is without a doubt one of the most accurate words to describe that exact style of chat. Like, I dislike it. But that guy from Muckluck's video. Oh, people are like, aren't you the guy that was on that Mother's Basement video? Oh, you're the guy that made the video that Muckluck... To be fair, Muckluck was lovely. He was really cool. He just sent me a message like, hey, I've got no problem with people reacting to my videos if they have specific and relevant knowledge to that video and want to expand on it. Just like an expansion for an MMORPG should expand the game and not become the game and capture everyone and reduce the size of it, a reaction to a video should expand the concept inside the video and not become the de facto version or reason to watch that thing specifically. Which is okay. The react is like a DLC. It adds to without detracting from. I think that's fine. Also, here's another random thing about reaction content. If you're going to react to a video, I'd say leave it about maybe a month before you want to react to it. That way you've allowed the video to gain all of the natural views that it's going to gain in that first month, which is when the majority of new videos do, you know, their best and do pretty well, and then you aren't capitalizing on it being promoted in the algorithm. I'd say that's pretty fine. You know, I influence us in so many Josh Strife ways. I do. How have I influenced your life, for better or for worse? Because I've met people who now wear vests. In fact, I met a really cool guy in Birmingham. I was in Birmingham train station, and really cool chap. I remember his name began with a D, but I can't remember the specific name itself. But lovely guy. So I was shopping in Birmingham train station, and there was this guy in the kind of shopping centre as well, and he was wearing a white shirt and a vest, and the dude was pretty buff. You know, the dude was genuinely well built, but he had his sleeves rolled up, and he had these really cool Witcher symbol tattoos down his arm, and then he had like the Skyrim kind of Dovahkiin dragon symbols down his arm as well, and he had the Half-Life symbol tattooed in his arm as well. And I wanted to be like, dude, sorry to disturb you, but those tattoos are awesome. They look really badass. But the guy was busy shopping, so I didn't want to, you know, disturb his day. But while I was shopping, he came over and went, sorry to interrupt you, man, but do you work on YouTube? And I'm like, yeah. He's like, are you Josh? I'm like, oh, yeah, lovely. Of course I am. He says, do you mind if we, you know, kind of grab a picture, watch your videos? Lovely chap. So we talked for a while. We talked about games. I complimented the tattoos. He had to, you know, run off and catch a train. We were in a train station. But it was just a lovely interaction. And I'll say to you guys the same thing I said to him. I've got no problem whatsoever with people coming up to me and saying hi and wanting to chat about games. Just introduce yourself, be polite. I'm more than happy to give someone time. That's totally okay. It's happened a couple of times. I've had people recognize me in kind of shopping centers or towns. It happens more in bigger towns and bigger cities, and it definitely happens in gaming conventions. But whenever it happens kind of in the wild, if you will, that's always a really humbling, a really nice moment. I enjoy it. Then they realize that it's not Kit Harington. They do. They walk up to me and then they realize that I'm not Rob Stark and that I'm not Henry Cavill. And then they like have to make awkward small talk because they really wanted to meet somebody else. That's what it was. People are like, oh my God,
sorry. I'm like, no, it's fine. I'm not them. I just make YouTube videos. And they're like, oh, that's great. What kind of videos? I'll follow you on YouTube. And I'm like, yeah, there it is. That awkward moment. And then they walk away. And you know what? They don't even follow me. Don't even subscribe. That's the worst thing about it. That is the worst thing about it. One day, someone will recognize me as the Terror Murderer. That is such a badass name. The Terror Murderer. It sounds like I should be on some kind of cheap podcast about killers. The MMO was having an average day. Little did it know, the Terror Murderer was on the way. There we go. I'll take that. The Terror. The leaves crunched underfoot as I walked into what appeared to be a doorway. See? I can do a podcast. One of those murder mystery podcasts. One of those unsolved crime podcasts. I can do that. Imagine it narrated by David Attenborough. The MMO sits alone, unknown and unaware that its demise is imminent. Josh walks through the door, pointing out the egregious nature of the cash shop, pointing out how A and D are not strafe, but instead turn. This small mistake will cost the MMORPG more than it realizes. After he gets done reviewing the game, players will leave in droves. GamerGo will attempt to buy it. And the cash shop will begin selling boosts. This is the unfortunate death spiral of the MMORPG. There we go. That's what'll happen. So, I'm just killing things over here specifically because I need the experience. I haven't actually had to grind for experience in Path of Exile for ages, but yeah, this is a thing now. Now, there are other attacks than having to just click, but this seems to be the simplest. This seems to be the easiest. Let's, guys, get ready. 28 minutes. 28 minutes. I expect 6 seasons of that by next Monday. 6 seasons and a movie. Mate, we can do it. I burnt my tongue on my tea, I blame you. Show dominance. Stick your entire tongue into your tea. Do it. There are 31,000 people currently watching the official Path of Exile stream. And there are 800 people watching me watch the official Path of Exile stream. Guys, beautiful. Beautiful time. Temp, that is a name I've not heard in a long time. But yes, for that stuff, contact me on Twitter or Discord. Hang on, I'm going to die on this. Give me some time. Just let me slice around. This glass shank is really pulling double duty right now. This glass shank is very... What are these guys? Extra... God damn it! Why do you have extra life? This is the worst thing ever. Thankfully, my shank seems to make short work of you. What's that guy doing? Is he going to explode or something? Hey, look at this! Being ravaged and yet surviving. Feeling like some kind of tanky barbarian. I am going for a full tank build, by the way. Just 100% full tank. Just picked up a tribal club. Could be good. We're watching numbers go down, riveting gameplay. Hey, if you guys want to do that, MMOs are just numbers going up, aren't they? This is all we do. We know this is what we do. Number go up, brain do happy chemical. That's all any of these games are. That club I picked up, is it better? Why can't I use it? Requires level 5. So close. I am currently level something. There'll be a number somewhere telling me. Current level 99% experience of level 4. Let's kill a frog. No, apparently not. One more thing and we'll level up. Played Path of Exile a while back. Will this new content be as good as a way to get back into it? So one of the things I admire about Path of Exile is getting... I mean, it's not specifically an MMORPG, but... There we go. It's not specifically an MMORPG, but getting into an MMO or getting into any long-running game is a difficult thing to do because you're like, when's the onboarding process? Where do I start? That's the kind of thing. So when they do the leagues effectively, they are almost like a reset time, a restart time, you should start this moment
built into the game. And when I questioned Chris about why he does this, he said that every single MMORPG, every single online game is going to have players leave. So what it's important to do is build in something that they can come back to. Build in a moment for them to return. Instead of just saying, you know, this is the best time ever, this is the best time ever, specifically give them a moment where they can say, I am going to come back now. And that's effectively what all of the leagues kind of are. They are new temporary mechanics that add to the game and give old players a chance to specifically come back, and everyone starts again and everyone learns it. And I like that. So where did I get the invisible bottle? It was very simple, actually. So the idea was, I think, in the streaming, the co-streaming contract, I'm not allowed to have any other company's symbols visible. It's like a boilerplate contract. So I figured the best way to do that was to only drink green things, because then they will naturally chroma key themselves out. I thought that was actually quite clever. You know? Not even lying. That's legit the reason. People are like, you know, you got to make sure you can't be... Nothing tastes better than not being sued. There we go. What about your chair logo behind your head? What logo? Don't know what you're on about. No idea what you're on about. Doesn't matter. Am I drinking in invisibility? How can I pick up gamer girls? I've said this before and I'll say it again. Get good at Nintendogs. It's the only language they speak and the only currency they recognize. My attention span is running out. I need the timer. Okay, so look, hang on. I'm going to put this tribal club, which is 8 to 13. That's 7 to 11. 8 to 13 is higher than 7 to 11. I'm good at maths. There we go. We've also got a point to spend. We're putting it in regenerate life or increased armor. Obviously increased armor. Apply points. Let's do this. Do you guys want the timer back for a bit? You missed the timer? Hang on. There you go. There we go. How much is that in socks weight? A lot. At least 2. May I ask, what is the next Was It Goodwill feature? You can. So, the next worst MMO ever is going to be Age of Conan. And the next Was It Good? I'm thinking about going back to the real-time strategy roots of the series I made, and potentially doing Dawn of War, which I like. And unfortunately... Oh, this is great. Look at this. Slapping around with a club. This is fantastic. This is much, much nicer. Okay. Yeah, this is great. Oh, wait, but this is what we want it to be. Slapping things around, picking some stuff up. My plan with this character is just defense. I don't care what the best choice is. We're literally just going defense. Defense, shield, armor. That's all I want from this character. Plans for MapleStory. One day I will tell you the MapleStory story, but not today. I have played it though. It's actually not terrible. But no, one day I will tell you the story of that video, for it is an interesting tale. But it is not a tale for today. It is definitely a tale for another time. Picked up a rusted spike. Requires 20 dexterity. Dexterity, the noob stat, as we all know. Why do you use your skills so rarely? Well, why use many skill when one skill do trick? Just right click, you know? Just slap. No. See? Maybe use that skill every now and again, the Q one, but in general, just slap. Beautiful. Beautiful moments. Why do I need? Use a scroll of wisdom to identify this item. So armor rating 10, evasion rating 10. Let's see if we can do that. Hey, 5, 15, requires level 5. Increased evasion. Yeah, that's better. 15, 15, 13, requires level 2. Stick you over there. Switch you around. Beautiful moments. Yeah. Why use many skill when one skill do trick? Why do it? Look, hit the enemy with a stick. Is the enemy dead? No. Repeat. That's it. 2 steps. 2 steps. I don't need more steps than that. More steps than that, irrelevant. Superfluous, if anything. If enemy not dead, hit stick more. Very, very simple man. Simple brain. Engage barbarian caveman brain. Hit stick. Hit stick good. Right now, my rotation is literally right click. That's it. Right click, which for some reason takes mana. Effectively, I am a barbarian casting stick. That's what I'm doing. Every time. Barbarian, I cast punch. Because it uses mana to stick this way. Magical stick hit. In face. Rona nest. That's pretty much what my bedroom was when I was ill. Look at that. That stick just slapped them both across the face. Fantastic. I am a barbarian. This is my stick weapon. It looks like a cricket bat that's covered in kind of weird goo blood. That's a very British weapon. Very Shaun of the Dead right now. Okay, guys, so we're... I don't mean to alarm you. I don't mean to alarm you, but... we are 19 minutes and 17 seconds away from the reveal. And that's when I'm going to just stop talking and let... Hi, I'm Chris Wilson from Grinding Gear Games. Take over. And he's going to be saying it. I have been alarmed. Is this the final countdown? Doodaloo-doo. Doodaloo-doo-doo. Doodaloo, doodaloo. Doodaloo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Doodaloo. DMCA. Good knowing you guys. Can you imagine if the automated detection is like, Josh, I don't know if you know this, but you actually did the doodaloos in the exact note that is copyrighted. So, no. Banned. Bad. WASD movement confirmed for PoE 2 in the Steam page. I don't know if that's true or not. I'm not going to fact check. I'm just going to completely believe you. 100%. If any of you give me facts in the chat right now that you have made up about Path of Exile 2, I will say them as if they are real. Let's just make some stuff up. Here you go. Ready? I'll start with a crazy one. There's gold. I know. I know. Ridiculous. Insane. Why would you even do it? Imagine putting gold in Path of Exile. Silly choices. Who would do it? No one would do it. It's, yeah, I mean, most people don't realize this, but it's actually a sequel to Death Stranding. It was. Hideo Kojima was very, very into this. He was like, no, we need to kind of pivot our direction. I would like to point out that my plan of casting stick is actually remarkably effective when you find a big enough stick. Driftwood Club 6 to 8, Tribal Club 8 to 13. Yeah, this is way better. This is working really well, actually. Path of Exile 2 has more tea than socks. What an insane game. Did it not research? Did it not do the market research on weight of things? It didn't. Misrepresentative of reality. That's what it is. Oh, I've run out of mana and so I can't hit things as hard. What a crazy build. My magic energy is down and therefore my stick is not as powerful. I mean, that's the excuse that I gave her, and that's what I'm sticking with. That's my exact words. Sorry, babe. No mana. This game came out in 2014 and is better optimized than Diablo 4. That's not a difficult thing to do. I mean, I can't make games. I could probably make something more optimized than however they did the... What did they do with the inventory system? It was weird, wasn't it? It was bad. Why do melee characters need to think of mana? They don't. Just hit things harder. Why do I... This is going to sound stupid. I need to level up my intelligence to hit things more often with a stick. Because that would give me more mana. That's ridiculous. Find and use the strange glyph in the mudflats. We'll get there. Don't you worry, we'll get there. Mana for melee is easy. Muscle memory. Muscle memory is still memory. It takes a spell slot. I like that. Muscle memory is still memory. We often forget this. I'm just going to hold left click and see how far that gets me through life. Like I've got 5 shield points as well. Maybe I should build into shield at some point. There is something whenever I talk about combat in any game, I talk about it needing to be viscerally satisfying. And this is what it is. So you'll notice this, and you'll notice it now when I point it out. Every time you hit something, there is a lovely chunky sound effect. There is a lovely visual flash over the enemy. And there's a lovely spray of gore and viscera. And it feels, the impact is satisfying. I like that. You ever play combat that feels floaty? Or that feels gentle? Or that feels like it's just kind of, flowing through the enemy and damage is happening, but you don't feel the impact, that kind of stuff. We can't hear the game, though. Hang on. You guys ready? Now you can. Let's get the game going now. Let's get some hits going on. To me, that's chunky. That's chunky, and it's bonk. That is good bonk. I am good at bonking. Visa, I know you're going to clip that, but I also need you to understand that is the most middle class way of boasting. Can you imagine if I was like in a club attempting to pick up a lady friend, walking in, and that's what I went with? That is the most middle class. Like, I feel that's the kind of chat-up line you'd use if your name is Reginald or something, or if you're an actual lord of somewhere. You're some kind of mannered landed gentry. Imagine walking up. I walk up to the club and I'm like, "Wagwan, my brethren. What's going down? The 420 ablaze it. Hearken, the sound of the establishment." Then I walk in and I'm like, "Disc jockey, spin those tunes." Then I start throwing shapes. Maybe there's a big fish. Possibly a little fish. If we're lucky, there's a cardboard box. And then I walk over to a scrumptious looking lady friend in the corner. And I'm like, "Well, would you like to know? But I'm very good at bonking." Okay? I find this offensive. Some of you, for some reason, have just gone, "Okay, Josh, so what we're going to do is the exact opposite of that." Yeah? I should write a dating guide. That's what I should do. I should teach all of you the skills that you will require. Yeah. Sir Flashy, the fuck did I just walk in on? You walked in on a masterclass, my friend. An absolute masterclass on flirtation. I can help you. Yeah, I can. Because, I mean, I know all the moves, all the dance moves for the discotheque. I know the Charleston. I know... I mean, to be honest, once you know the Charleston, that's pretty much it. You know, when you reach max level, you stop leveling. When you know that, you don't need to know more than that. You're pretty much good to go. That's it. You just walk in, you're like, fantastic. Good trivia. I do. "Good day, tender of the bar." I do walk in. "May I please have a drink, but could you put double the amount that you would normally put in? There should be a name for that, a shorthand." And he's like, "Yeah, mate, what do you want?" I'm like, "Could I please have some ginathy in that one? And pair it up with a cheeky little tonic water, why don't you?" And they look at me and they're like, "Gin and tonic." I'm like, that is a marvellous, marvellous shorthand version of that. What a fantastically eloquent way of ordering that specific drink without wasting so much time communicating. Is the Charleston the fireball of dances? It is. Once you know it, you don't need to know anything else. It's very simple. It's very direct. It's very to the point. I like how there's a lot of people here genuinely expecting deep Path of Exile evaluation. So let me make it very clear to you. I do not play the game at an incredibly high level. I know you might be surprised, but while I enjoy the game, I am not a top-tier player. So, I will be evaluating the changes that I feel will affect me or change my playstyle. That's what I'll be evaluating. There might not be any, there might be lots. I don't know. But if you want extremely in-depth, detailed evaluation of how it's going to change the meta and what the new best builds are going to be and all that kind of stuff, there are better people. There are way, way better, way smarter people, way more intelligent people than me who will know far more. But if what you want is extremely specific, pedantic stuff, yeah, that I can do for the new player experience. No problem at all. This is an elaborate way to make sure Visa makes it through the winter. I just want him to survive. You know, I couldn't do his job. I'm just here for a great bonking. Fantastic. I'm glad you are. We're just here for the great bonking. Good. The people who know more have a more obnoxious chat. I will say that this Twitch chat, you guys specifically, as an entity, are very funny. Let's be real, you're not as funny as DugDug's Twitch chat. And that's because I'm not as funny as DugDug. So we all have to take our place as second best. You know, one day, if you make a very funny joke in this chat, you will be allowed to go to DugDug's Twitch chat. You have to be funny enough here to then move over to him. That's how it works, okay? It's not rigged, there's no divorce, I will not take 3 shots of olive oil, and you are not becoming mayor. Straight up, you're not allowed. But if you make a very good joke here, I will allow you to go and hang out with DugDug. It's like, you come to me and you're like, Dad, DugDug said we could play. Can I go to DugDug's house now? And then I say yes. That's what happens. Hey, leveled up. There we go. Leveled up and we got the goat's horn. That's not even a euphemism, that's what we got. I have to admit though, there are a couple of streamers and YouTubers that I am not just fans of, but really appreciate the technical and artistic skill it takes to create their streams, and DugDug is one of them. The guy is remarkably talented. If I ever met him, I would love to pick his brains about some stuff. Right, goat's horn's a wand, we don't want to use that, that's not a club, why would we even consider it? So you watch DugDug as well? Of course I do. One of the best YouTubers. I've recently started watching John Wolfe as well, lots of his horror stuff. He's good, and the Stellar J, really funny, exceptionally funny. Sometimes I watch YouTubers who are so funny, by the time their videos finish, all I do is hate them. Because they're just that good. Do you ever get that? God, man. I get to the end of some people's videos and I'm like, your editing's good, your research is good, your delivery's good. Fuck you. That's what I get. There's no way. There's no way I can get there. Can't even pretend that I'm not annoyed. And then sometimes I meet these people in real life and I'm like, I hate you. Be my friend. That's what happens. Oh, man. Yeah, musicians with someone's more skill. It's like I met Kadikarus, or Katakaris, however you pronounce the name. Kadikarus, the Crash Bandicoot god, at EGX in London a couple of months ago. And first of all, lovely dude. Really, really nice guy. But after chatting to him for like an hour, I'm just there like, stop. Stop being approachable, stop being nice, stop being amenable. Something about you has to be bad. I'm going to find something to hate. Because right now it's very difficult to find anything to hate about you, and that makes me very uncomfortable. Because now I have you ever hated someone for no reason, and then you found a reason, and you're like, oh, yes. Yes, I was right. I knew I was right. Yeah, that's a good feeling. That's a very good feeling. There's like that smug moment where you dislike someone or something, and everyone else tells you you're wrong, and then that person does something bad, and you're like, ha ha ha, guess who feels vindicated? Yeah. I'm not a hateful person, but sometimes it does sustain me. It does bring me joy. Right, let's open this chest. Empty. Empty. That chest is full of reasons to hate Kadikarus. There's nothing in there. Right, I got a club as well. 8 to 13, 8 to 13. It's basically the same. I could double wield the clubs, but I like the shield, to be honest. The shield is helping out quite a lot. That's a confirmed unconscious bias. Oh, the spicy serotonin. Guys, we're 5 minutes away. Just so you know, we are 5 minutes away from the stream. And I'm going to keep slapping things with a stick. Now, I, of course, will be streaming the thing to a screen, and then you'll be watching it through me. Does this mean there'll be lag? Does this mean there'll be slowdown? Probably. Does this mean watching it through me is going to be the least efficient way to watch this? Definitely. Almost 100% probably. So, if any of you want the actual information, first of all, there should be a link. There should be a bot that actually types every 15 to 20 minutes in the chat. I've not seen it yet, but it should be there. And where's the bot that types stuff? Where are you, typey bot? You should say things. Has anyone seen the bot in chat? It should have a link about something. I can't see it. It'll be there at some point. I'll work it out later. It's not a problem. Bot's slacking. It's the uprising. It was broken the last time as well. No, it's not broken. It's not broke. Don't worry about that. It's fine. It's okay. But there should be, if you're on Twitch, there should be a panel underneath that you're able to click on. And if you click on the panel, it should take you with a little tracking link to the game. And the reason I don't mind promoting Path of Exile is I think it's a really good way of monetizing a game, and I think it's an excellent free experience. There is this tendency, because I understand that my series is called Worst MMO Ever, and I title it that because hatred and negativity gets so much more attention and more views. It does. You guys know it does. You know, hatred online, negativity gets more attention. It just does. Emotional negativity. But this means that I have a huge amount of my audience that whenever I like anything, they're straight away like, sell out, shield, you sold your principles out, you're awful, how dare you like this thing. And the truth is, there are games that I like. And I think that if the game is fair and treats the audience fairly with respect and treats the customer decently and provides value, then yeah, that's fine to kind of support. I enjoy supporting that, if anything. And I feel that, honestly, Path of Exile is one of those things that actually gives value to the customers. And if you guys disagree with me, you're welcome to. Just explain why. Personally, I think this is one of the games that does it better. Hang on, I've really got to actually focus. I'm not going to win this right now, because I'm being wrecked. Absolutely wrecked by this dude over here. So let me just... Do I get experience for killing these dogs? That's the question. Because if I get experience for killing them, it would actually benefit me to not kill them. No, I don't. Do not get experience for killing those guys. But... Oh, goddamn. Yeah, this guy's taking me down. Did the game volume go way up? Yeah, probably. Hang on, let me just turn that down a bit. There we go. Cool. Any chance you might try Diablo 4? No, not really. I'm not too bothered about Blizzard games at all. A couple of months ago, people were massively anti-Blizzard, and I was kind of on that train. And now people have jumped off that train because, as you know, has been famously said, everyone is just one cinematic away from ending any boycott whatsoever. Everyone's one cinematic away from buying whatever the next big thing is. But I just kept riding the train, to be honest. I just stayed on it for a while. I did. I zigged when I should have zagged. I ungered when I should have bungered. That was why I died just then. That's the problem. So, no flasks, no charges. I nearly killed the thing. Had I have had this 1 point to spend, I would have definitely killed the thing, but we are 2 minutes away from the stream being ready. Increased armor, increased maximum life, regenerate life, stun threshold, more strength. Sweet, that sounds pretty good. Let's go with applying the points here, and now we will wait for the next level up. But for now, guys, you know what we need to do? We need to do this. Get hyped, my friends. Get hyped, because I'm going to quit this and I'm going to put this on. We're going to turn you up. The desktop audio is going to get louder. My god, you'd think it was a professional stream. 1 minute, guys, get hyped, come on. I am not going to talk too much during this. I'm going to sit here like a good little streamer and just watch. We're going to watch together. I'm going to leave the chat on the screen, obviously. You guys will be able to see it, but here we go. I genuinely think, and this is not just corporate bullshit, I genuinely think that Path of Exile has survived so long with such a passionate player base because the guys that make it enjoy it. And that sounds seriously silly. Of course people that make games enjoy them. Well, no, there's many companies that do and that don't. But there's a love, there's a passion that is palpable when you play the game. Sounds silly, but it is, and I've played a hell of a lot of games. There is a feeling. Sometimes when you play a game, you think, yeah, this is decent. Never trust a thin cook, as they say. There's a reason it's been going for so long. I think it's decent. I think it respects the player's time. I think it has a lot of good ideas, and I enjoy it. It's not perfect. Nothing is. But I enjoy it as a game.
Hi, I'm Chris Wilson from Grinding Gear Games. Thanks for joining us for today's Path of Exile livestream. We have a packed show today, with announcements for Path of Exile 2, as well as the exclusive unveiling of Path of Exile Affliction, which launches on December 8th on PC and Mac, and on December 13th on console. Twitch drops are enabled on today's livestream, so make sure you follow the instructions below in order to claim your Huntsman wings. We'll start with Path of Exile 2, where Jonathan will walk you through our latest announcements. Mark will then take you on a deep dive into the new Path of Exile Affliction Challenge League, which launches in 1 week. He'll cover the league mechanics, its rewards, some new content we're adding to the core Path of Exile experience, and some large metagame changes. I'll then show you our annual core supporter packs, and we'll head into our live Q&A session where Ziggy D will ask us your questions from Twitch chat. After the livestream, we'll drop the full patch notes. I'd like to hand over to Jonathan Rogers, Game Director of Path of Exile 2.
Hey guys, it's been a few months since we introduced you to the Druid in Path of Exile 2, but one of the things that we're really focusing on now is how varied each of the classes feels to play. The Monk darts around quickly from enemy to enemy, building and unleashing combos. If he doesn't stay in combat, he loses momentum and has to build it up again.
It looks really good, like legit.
The Warrior, on the other hand, is like a slow but unstoppable freight train. A warrior commits to big attacks and relies on stunning his enemies to stay safe in the thick of combat. When an opening presents itself, a warrior can use even larger attacks to demolish his enemies.
That's a big bonk. We're going to get very good at bonking.
The Huntress seamlessly moves from melee to ranged combat and back. The true damage potential of the Huntress is only unlocked when you learn to combine ranged and melee abilities together.
That was like the Neverwinter, the Hunter Ranger. I enjoyed that gameplay style a lot.
And then there are the Spellcasters. The Sorceress is a pure caster who much prefers to stay at range and drop powerful spells on her foes. If she finds herself surrounded by enemies, she would rather use an ability to escape than to take them on directly. The Druid is also a spellcaster, but unlike the Sorceress, he uses his spells as a means to support his melee abilities. And by melee abilities, we mean he can turn into a giant animal and rip his enemies to pieces.
We've all gone bear mode every now and again.
Each of these classes feels extremely different to play, but we want to go even further. It's time to check out the Mercenary.
There's not a job out there I won't take, so long as the pay's good and a crossbow can solve it.
I cast gun.
I'll take 'em all down, one bolt at a time.
When thinking about each new class, we really try to think about how we can make combat feel different from all the others. For the Mercenary, that difference is the crossbow. A crossbow is fundamentally different than a regular bow because it fires instantly instead of needing to be drawn back. This means that you need immediate feedback. Clicking the fire button should make the character shoot instantly, just like in a shooter. As soon as we experience that, we realize that there are a lot of design lessons to learn from shooters, and so we fully embraced them. In Path of Exile 2, we have crossbows that work like sniper rifles, shotguns, and assault rifles. But in order to really get shooter-like gameplay, we wanted to go further. In Path of Exile 2, we now support WASD movement. You can now walk around in any direction independent of aiming. In fact, if this is your preferred method of gameplay, you can use it on any class, regardless of what weapon type you're using.
It's a machine.
You can change between click to move or WASD at any time. You can only hold 2 crossbows at a time, but Path of Exile 2 is all about interesting combinations of abilities, and this is where ammo skills come in. This is a burst shot crossbow, and right now I have armor piercing ammo equipped, which makes it very effective when facing a group of enemies, since it pierces right through them.
Bloody horrors!
But there are other ammos too. For a bigger single target, it might be a good idea to switch to incendiary. The more projectiles hit the target, the stronger the ignite, so you'll want to get up nice, close and personal with this one.
Close range, long range, flamethrower.
If you have a bunch of targets running at you, you might want to slow them down. In this case, you could switch to permafrost burst shot. Shooting a bunch of smaller enemies at range will chill them, and potentially even freeze them in place.
This as a team
Once you have some
support
frozen
class.
enemies though, you can switch back to armor piercing. Shooting a frozen enemy with armor piercing burst shot will explode the ice, doing a huge amount of damage to all nearby enemies.
I'm playing this with a couple of other people. We're going through as a team.
Another feature crossbows have is attachments. This is a grenade launcher. As you can see, when I equip it, it appears on the underside of the crossbow. These attachments are just like skill gems, so you effectively get extra skill slots, and you can augment these with support gems, just like regular skills.
Fire in the hole!
These grenades take a while to explode, so it's a good idea to pair them with some kind of crowd control, like permafrost burst shot.
It's Call of Rayclast. It's brilliant. I cast grenade.
We have other grenades too though. This attachment is a flash grenade. It does barely any damage, but it does a huge amount of stun.
Flash
It can be a great
grenade
opener
breaching.
before you run into combat.
You can play a breaching assassin.
Surprise!
Now, here's another attachment, an oil grenade. Firing one of these grenades coats the ground and nearby enemies in oil. Oil slows enemies down, so it's another useful crowd control mechanic.
Can you ignite it?
Now, another thing that oil can do is be set on fire. Any burning enemy or explosion will ignite the oil, causing extra burning damage.
Frag out. Hell kind of a name is soup.
One of the problems with burst shot crossbows is that each pellet doesn't do much damage individually. This means that if enemies have armor, then it will be very effective preventing that damage.
Mission
But thankfully, you can equip an additional crossbow in your second weapon set to deal with the weaknesses of your primary weapon.
We'll get him next time.
This is a rapid shot crossbow. Rapid shot is great for closing on enemies because you can shoot while running. In Path of Exile 2, we now have the ability to allow you to use some skills while moving. Being able to create skills like this opens up a lot of new design space and allows us to really increase the pace of combat.
This is going to be a lot of fun.
The armor-piercing version of Rapid Shot slowly erodes a monster's armor. Once the armor is fully broken, you can easily switch back to Burst Shot to deal much more damage.
If that stacks and you can have multiple people playing as the mercenary, ripping the enemy's armor apart, I can see that getting out of hand very fast.
Being able to run while shooting with Rapid Shot is also great for when you want to perform a fighting retreat.
Reload!
Using permafrost ammo with Rapid Shot is also useful if you need to retreat. When you shoot the ground, it creates ice crystals. If you draw monsters back over these crystals, they explode, killing the monsters.
Brilliant.
It's great if you want to set up a safe zone before pulling the next pack.
You can set traps with your own crossbow bolts. That's brilliant. I know that people hate it when I like things.
Slowing
but this
enemies
looks
down
good.
can come in handy if you want to use the incendiary version of Rapid Shot. Using this skill requires that you charge up a little bit before it fires, but as it continues to heat up, it will do more and more damage.
Sort of turret than the Yuri turrets from.
It has a
Command
really
and Conquer.
large clip size, so you can just keep firing and firing with it. But the other really useful feature is that when the crossbow is heated up, it adds extra fire damage to any grenade that you launch.
When I say to people, don't make a cinematic, just show me the gameplay. This is just a full level with the character. This is the best way to advertise what a game is and what the character does.
Now, I've been using explosive grenades here, but it will work equally as well with flash or oil grenades too. If you use it with oil grenades, the oil will catch fire immediately.
People might really get annoyed when they just show you the gameplay and then they're like, it's the game. Have fun. This is Path of Exile 2.
Another
Yes.
crossbow type that you can find is Power Shot. This one works just like a classic sniper rifle. Use it with armor-piercing ammo and it will penetrate armor on targets. So it's a good idea to use when something's really tough.
Back down or die!
So a couple of us in a team just playing snipers.
Now this skill has another interesting interaction with armor break. If an enemy has its armor broken, then your Power Shot hits a weak spot and does a huge amount of single target damage, with a bunch of extra stun for good measure. Now, the incendiary version of Power Shot is more like a rocket launcher. It does a big explosive blast at a distance.
I swear to God, they just said to themselves, how can we put guns in the game? And they're like, well, we might have to...
One of the really useful features of this version is that you can explode any grenades that happen to be on the ground.
They just wanted guns. And they justified it with crossbows. That's what they did.
This combo also works really well with Incendiary Rapid Shot. I'm going to charge up the heat on my crossbow, shoot out a bunch of grenades, and then start the fireworks with a Power Shot. The ice version of Power Shot creates frost walls at a distance. This is great for crowd controlling monsters in tight passages.
Oh, damn. That's actually really cool.
The wall segments have other uses too. If they get destroyed by monsters, then they will explode, doing a small amount of damage.
Block him in!
Okay, area of effect spells, crowd control, that's something that's not seen too often in almost any game. MMOs used to really focus on it, but crowd control used to be a specific kind of archetype.
Now, remember that burst shot combo with frozen enemies we did earlier? That works with ice walls too. Let's put burst shot back on. Now I can fill up this area with ice walls, then shoot them with armor-piercing burst shot for a huge amount of damage.
It's like Angry Frosty.
Alright, it's time to face the boss for this area. Let's see how we fare against her with all the skills I've shown you so far.
Shall take pleasure in your castration! I'm not letting you anywhere near him. Stay still, the mother! No. Oh, my dear child! Your time has... By the gods!
It's attacking you with angry fetuses.
Eat your fill! Eat this!
This is very Resident Evil, as you said. This is... I mean, I'm impressed, but equally disgusted. In a good way. I am sickened, yet curious. Voice acting is awesome as well.
Dismember!
Yeah, Chris is the kind of guy that went, so what are we going to show off on the gameplay then? Put the undead fetus mummy
What is
in.
going on in this godforsaken city?
And that's the Mercenary. It feels totally different than anything we've made before, and shows you the range of what's possible in Path of Exile 2. We're going to be showing off a lot more about Path of Exile 2 as we approach its beta, but in the meantime we've got a Path of Exile 1 expansion coming out next week. I'm going to hand over to Mark, also known as Neon, to show you what's in store for PoE 1.
Thanks, Jonathan. Well, let's just go ahead and get straight on into it. Here's the trailer for Path of Exile Affliction.
He's got no time.
Something moves in the mists. Something sinister. Thorn. Rot. Plague. And claw. The affliction spreads. It hungers for more. Tread lightly in the wildwood, which shifts and fights. Accept our help, the ancient power of the Azmiri. Beware the spirits that yearn for freedom. And the heart of evil that waits in the dark.
More skill trees.
Ready yourself. I will be waiting.
Oh, damn, okay. In like 8 days. I'll make some time.
In the Affliction League, you will encounter sacred wisps, which beckon you to enter overgrown passageways that lead to the Viridian Wildwood. A vile affliction has covered this forest with a foreboding darkness. You'll need to uncover the forest mysteries to put a stop to the source of the affliction. As you approach the darkness, the wisps burn away its affliction. Make sure you tread carefully, because they only have a limited amount of power. But be warned, the darkness is full of cursed monsters that emerge to kill you. As you explore, you might see other types of wisps trapped inside the darkness. The Wildwood is trying to guide you towards clues about its affliction. Follow the trails of wisps by collecting them, and you may uncover many different secrets. New characters to find, shrines, boss battles, and all kinds of new encounters are lurking in the forest just waiting for you to discover them. There are many rewards to earn for those brave enough to seek them. When the sacred wisps run out of energy, they will return you back to where you came from. Any other types of wisps you have collected will return with you to Rayclast. These wisps, having been saved from the affliction, disperse into the environment and inhabit randomly chosen monsters in the area, increasing their power and also their rewards. The different types of wisps have different effects on monsters, and sometimes more than one type will inhabit a single monster, making the fight even harder and even more rewarding. If this happens to a boss, you could be in for a tough fight, but if you can overcome it, your efforts will not be in vain.
Hard mode on yourself.
Primal wisps grant an item rarity bonus to inhabited monsters. Wild wisps grant an item quantity bonus, and vivid wisps cause them to drop currency items. If a monster gets all 3 types, they'll drop more items of a higher rarity and a lot of currency. While exploring the Wildwood, you might find some of the last few Azmiri wanderers who have managed to survive in the forest since it was cursed. Each of them have different survival specializations, and they are willing to teach you if you agree to help them defeat the source of the affliction, the King in the Mists. Choose which of the Azmiri that you will complete quests for to unlock one of 3 new Ascendancy classes, which you can have in addition to your regular Ascendancy class. Up to 8 points for these classes are unlocked as you complete more quests for the Azmiri you are training under. The Warden of Eves can teach you to become a Warden of the Magi, a powerful class that takes advantage of wilderness knowledge. A Warden of the Magi can learn to use tinctures which coat their weapon, granting various powerful effects. You can equip tinctures in your flask slots and toggle them on and off at will. You can only have one enabled at a time, but the effects are quite conditional, so you may want to have more than one equipped and swap between them during combat. For example, equip the Ironwood Tincture to gain the benefit of always stunning enemies on full life.
Useful.
Tinctures can also get random mods. This one in particular adds stacks of wither to targets on full life and steals frenzy charges on hit, which makes it great as an initiator. When you are fighting rare monsters or finishing off tough bosses, you will want to swap to the Oak Branch Tincture, which grants Culling Strike, increased damage against enemies on low life, and has a chance to steal a mod from rare enemies you kill. You can buy more tinctures from the Warden of Eves using Primal Wisps when you find her in the forest, so keep an eye out for her. As a Warden of the Magi gains more Ascendancy points, they gain access to more skills that let them further specialize in tinctures. For example, Nature's Concoction allows you to invest in having your tinctures enhance your flasks. This Ascendancy skill makes it important to think about which slots your tinctures are placed in, and what flasks they are adjacent to. You will have better uptime on those flasks and they'll be stronger as a result. But there are plenty more skills to choose even if you don't want to engage with tinctures.
I like the adjacents.
For example, another new ability to unlock is Bark Skin. It's a reservation skill that causes bark to grow all over your body, increasing armor. As you take damage, the bark falls off, increasing your evasion.
That's a nice little visual.
Over time, the bark will grow back, removing the evasion bonus but increasing your armor again. The Breaker of Oaths can teach you to become a Warlock of the Mists, an Ascendancy class specializing in the darker arts of the Azmiri. One powerful ability you can choose is Blood Hunt, which grants an active skill called Ravenous. This skill lets you see what type a monster is under its life bar, whether it is a demon, beast, undead, construct, or humanoid. Consuming a corpse with this skill gives a buff to damage against that type of monster, and reduces damage taken by it. You can only have one type active at a time, so it's a good idea to choose wisely for the area that you are in. Some bosses like the Maven are eldritch in nature and don't conform to the regular corpses that you have access to, but don't worry. The Breaker of Oaths has a shop where you can trade wild wisps for corpses that you can place on the ground wherever you are. Buy an eldritch corpse and you will be able to get the bonus while fighting eldritch entities like the Maven. You may notice that most of the corpses he sells are not monsters you normally encounter. You might want to try turning some of these corpses into specters, to take advantage of some of the unique abilities that these monsters have.
That's pretty cool.
The Warlock of the Mists gets access to many other abilities. For example, there is a trio of curses that you can pick from. One of these curses targets your minions, giving them life degen and making them explode for massive damage when they are near death. One of them prevents enemies from dealing damage for the latter portion of its duration, which is quite powerful against bosses. This curse creates the interesting build decision of whether or not you should increase curse duration or reduce it. The final curse is a mark that causes enemy phantasms to be spawned when you hit the marked enemy. These phantasms aren't on your side, so they work well with on-hit and on-kill trigger effects, for example.
I've actually
The
just
Primal
been paid
Huntress
to
can
watch
teach you to
this.
become
The
a
nodding
Wildwood
is voluntary.
Primalist. Unlike the other new ascendancies, the Primal Huntress lets you customize your tree.
Nodding is normally extra. This is just what I've chosen to give them.
You do
because
this
I
with
think
charms that
looks
you can
good.
buy from the Primal Huntress for Vivid Wisps. Charms have randomly generated mods, which give stats from regular Ascendancy classes, allowing you to create your own hybrid Ascendancy class. Charms are magic items that are aligned with different attributes. So for example, this Ursine charm is strength aligned, and has gotten the melee hits have a chance to fortify stat from the champion,
Not nodding for
and
that,
the
don't
ability
care.
to stop your movement speed going below base from the Juggernaut. This interline Corvine charm lets you get the stat that makes your consecrated ground effects linger from the Inquisitor, and the effect that makes cursed enemies explode from the Occultist. Some of the combination of mods that you might find for sale on charms can be extremely powerful, so keep a lookout for the Primal Huntress's shop even if you are not playing
We've
as a
gone with the
Primalist.
chin stroking.
As a Primalist,
You wait
you
until
also
we
get
get both.
access to a few other interesting abilities. Use Warcries next to corpses and they have a chance to drop an extra item. It opens nearby chests too. The Primalist also gets access to a small extra backpack,
That's impressive.
just in case you find
Extra
yourself needing
items
to
are
cart
good.
more items to town during your map runs. If you are unhappy with the class you picked, or you just happen to find a really great item for another one of the classes, you are able to change which class you are using next time you find one of the Asmeri Wanderers.
Nice.
Just remember that you will have to do their quests in order to gain the Ascendancy points for that class. These quests will lead you towards the ultimate goal of the Asmeri: finding the King in the Mists, defeating him, and cleansing the forest of its affliction once and for all. There are new uniques to find, rewards to claim, and new Ascendancy classes to master in the Affliction League. Now that we've covered what's in the League, let's talk about some of the changes you can expect to the core game in 3.23.
I like that.
For a start, Ultimatum is finally going core. When talking to players at ExileCon, it was the #1 feature that people requested. When playing through in-game maps, you may sometimes encounter the Trial Master, who offers you a choice to undertake a deadly Val trial in exchange for great rewards. If you defeat the trial, he offers to go double or nothing with you. Do you take the risk and go for an even better reward? Or do you take the winnings you have already earned off the table and go home? We've done a full rebalance of Ultimatum and have added many new mods and rewards, including both new and reworked uniques. The base number of rounds for an Ultimatum trial is now always 10, with a chance to spawn the Trial Master boss fight on the 10th round, if you are able to make it that far. As part of 3.23, we have also removed Metamorph from the game. All the Catalyst rewards from Metamorph have now been moved to be rewards for Ultimatum. We have also added a new Val-themed Catalyst that works on corrupted items.
No idea.
As is normal for most content that gets added to endgame, we have introduced new Ultimatum passive skills to the Atlas tree. One great example is the Keystone Grueling Gauntlet. It makes Ultimatums last 3 extra rounds, but you cannot choose the modifiers, and it prevents the final Trial Master boss fight from spawning. The level of challenge becomes extreme during the last 3 rounds, and not being able to choose the modifiers makes it even harder. But the rewards are insane, and for those with very high-end characters, it might be a bet worth making. There are lots of other Atlas passive skills you can pick from for Ultimatum, so choose wisely. Now, it's time to talk about one of the largest metagame changes we've ever made. There were 3 systems in Path of Exile that were all trying to subtly modify the behavior of skills. These were alternate quality gems, Labyrinth Helmet enchants, and unique threshold jewels. We've combined all of these together to create a new system called Transfigured Gems that allows us to fully achieve the goal of these 3 systems and then some. Transfigured Gems are alternative versions of existing skill gems that have different functionality and balance from their regular versions. We have added a huge number of these with interesting variations that drastically change how existing skills play. For example, Frostbomb of Instability. It changes it from a cooldown skill that you can cast occasionally for a large explosion into a skill that you can cast continuously but deals less damage and doesn't apply cold exposure. It changes the role of Frostbomb from a utility skill into a main damaging skill. Another example is Detonate Dead of Scavenging. You can't use it on corpses that were created by Desecrate or Unearth, but in exchange it does a whole lot more damage. You won't be able to use it as your main reliable source of damage, but it's a great skill to use as a 4-link utility to get some extreme burst damage.
I'm going to nod like I know
Raise
what
Zombie
he's
of
on about.
Falling. Instead of raising a zombie from a corpse, you summon them from mid-air. They fall to their death, dealing AoE damage where they land. While this sounds like a physical damage version
It's
of
raining
Firestorm,
men
you should
build.
consider that it scales with minion damage and also triggers on-death minion effects. Blight of Contagion. This version of Blight is now spread by Contagion, so you can use it as part of your Essence Drain build. We have a huge number of these. Transfigure Firestorm into Firestorm with Meteors, Transfigure Blade Trap into Blade Trap of Greatswords, Transfigure Barrage into Barrage of Volley Fire, and so on. There is a lot to experiment with, and we look forward to seeing what builds you can come up with. But how do you get Transfigured gems? The Divine Font at the end of the Eternal Labyrinth has been changed to a gem crafting device that can modify your skill and support gems in a lot of new ways. One of the options you can now choose is to turn a skill gem into one of 3 transfigured gems. But that isn't all the Divine Font can do. It has a lot of other gem crafting options you can use. For example, you can add quality to gems, add experience to gems, sacrifice a gem for 1 or more treasure keys to open Azaro's chests, and you can even exchange support gems for exceptional support gems like Empower or Enlighten. These are just some of the options you'll find the Divine Font is now capable of.
Player choice.
In order to replace the rewards in Heist that previously gave alternate quality gems, we have done a rebalance of the rewards of Heist as well. Experimented base types have been rebalanced, new replica uniques have been added and old ones changed, and we have increased the amount of currency from display cases as well. On top of this, we have gone through and buffed the quality stats on most damage dealing skills. In most cases, they will be significantly more powerful than before, and also more interesting. Overall, this is one of the largest metagame shifts that we've ever done. There are so many crazy new skill combinations to plan around, so we expect to see some really interesting new builds. Next up, I'd like to hand back over to Chris to talk about the new supporter packs.
That sounds
At
like a
this
decent...
point, we'd usually talk about the League supporter packs. We're doing things a bit differently this year. Rather than releasing League supporter packs today and then our annual core packs 2 weeks later, we've combined it all together into a strong set of core supporter packs that will be released alongside Path of Exile Affliction next week. The series contains 5 packs, each with its full value in points and a collection of exclusive cosmetic microtransactions. The higher packs contain physical merchandise. We'll unveil the full details of each of the packs at release next week, but in the meantime, here's a sneak peek of some of their exclusive cosmetic microtransactions. These packs will be available for purchase when Path of Exile Affliction launches on the 8th of December. Thank you so much for your ongoing support.
I don't mind cosmetics. Cosmetics are okay.
We're just about to start the Q&A with Ziggy D. Afterwards, we'll post Path of Exile Affliction's full patch notes. With the release at the end of next week, our community team will be posting crucial information you'll need for Affliction's release. Keep an eye on the news. On release weekend, we expect to launch the new mystery box and this season's Kyrix Vault Pass. Thanks for joining us today and checking out our latest developments. We're looking forward to exploring the Viridian Wildwood with you next week. We'll begin the Q&A shortly, so please get your questions ready.
That seems like a decent league. It's not a random disconnected minigame. It's just, hey, you'll discover this as you play through, hop into the forest, kill some foresty stuff, get some cool forest rewards. And the gem, the ultimate high-level gem changing, I have no specific idea about. I never got to that kind of ultimate top level. But in general, that looks like more of the game that people like. I'm okay with that. Changes the base game. Everything seems like it's pretty positive. The gem change hopefully is good for the people that understand exactly how it works. I'm assuming the Q&A with the developers is on this channel again. Yes.
G'day, Ziggy D here, folks. Exiles, welcome for a giant jam-packed Q&A after a huge reveal session. We have here today Chris, Jonathan, and Mark. 3 for the price of 1 this time around, not just Chris. Welcome, folks.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Excellent, folks. We're going to be moving through things in rough order that we saw things today during the reveal. So starting with Path of Exile 2 and then moving through some of the new Path of Exile 1 features. So get those questions in through Twitch chat and we'll sprinkle those in through each of those various sections. So first, let's talk about that new movement scheme that was revealed with the new mercenary class.
I like the WASD.
We have the new WASD movement. And does this alternate control scheme work with other classes and builds, or is it mainly intended for like this shooter mercenary style?
So when we put it in, I was totally thinking that it was going to be something that you'd want to use with ranged characters way more. But actually, when I tried out some melee stuff, I was pretty sold on it, actually. It was better than I was expecting. There's still a few tweaks to do to make that perfect internally, but like, yeah, it's pretty awesome. So I think I'm probably I think I'm going to be playing that way myself, actually, even though I was a bit of a skeptic at first of WASD for melee. I think it is good, but we want to make sure that everyone understands that you can change from one to the other whenever you want. It's just one of those things that like some people may prefer it, some people may not. But yeah, I'm really enjoying it. WASD rather feels pretty good to me.
Yeah, I was pleasantly surprised, to be honest. Like, I've, die-hard action RPG, Diablo 2 era kind of guy myself. But for some reason, the WASD stuff just feels really natural to play. I guess it's, background in Crimson Land and that kind of thing.
Yeah. That first moment you use it, it's a little bit jarring because W is now not a skill. But once you can get beyond that, it is like very, very fun to play.
It is actually funny going I went loaded up the PoE 1 client again recently, and I was immediately pressing WASD like, oh shit.
Yeah. Dude, keep doing the exact same
thing.
Exactly.
But I also keep trying to dodge roll as well.
Yeah, so yeah.
Oh yeah, there were dodge rolls in PoE too.
I was going to ask then, can WASD movement be added to Path of Exile 1, or is it exclusively a PoE 2 feature?
It's probably going to be pretty hard to add it to PoE 1, and the reason would be because the number of animations you need to support arbitrary directional movement like that is really high, and the rigs in PoE 1 are so old that it would be really, really difficult to add. So I think it's probably quite unlikely. And just in general, the animation stuff that we're doing in PoE 2, it's just a different level. So it was okay, I'm not going to say easy, but it was easier to add it in PoE 2 than it would have been in PoE 1 by far. So yeah, for now I'd say it's going to be PoE 2 only.
Mm-hmm.
How have you found hotkey usage and things like that while moving around with WASD?
Using WASD means you're losing four decently placed keys.
One thing it does do is so it's definitely a thing. But what personally what I found is that so you've effectively got the left click freed up, to put a skill on. So you've kind of got you can have three major skills on mouse, and then having other stuff on the keyboard, and it works pretty well for me because the stuff that I put on the keyboard at least tends to be the sort of more rarely used stuff. They're still commonly used, but still a bit rarer, and so it wasn't too bad. I found it okay. It is a concern for sure. I suspect that
guys, if you want more information on the Path of Exile, Affliction, and PoE 2, I would recommend that you pop over to the actual official Path of Exile Twitch stream. Those guys will be able to answer way more questions, and you can type in the chat there, because I have to head off and continue attempting to pack my house up to move house. I will hopefully be able to play the Affliction League when it comes out, and if today has been anything to go by, I will just rebuild a Bonk Warrior, okay? We are just going with Angry Bonk. That's it. Defense, stick. Nothing else is needed. My magic is for casting stick. That is all we're going to do. Pop on over to the actual PoE Twitch thing. You'll be able to chat with those guys. I am excited, genuinely, for Path of Exile 2, and I think the changes to the gems at the high level will hopefully be things that high-level players want, and the league mechanic of going into a forest seems decent, but honestly, I'm pretty much just waiting around for Path of Exile 2, because I want to be a machine gun mercenary. Guys, thank you very much for joining me. It's been awesome. I've enjoyed playing this game, and I enjoy working with Path of Exile, so cheers, guys. Appreciate it. Pop on over to them, see what they're on about, and if you start playing the game, there is a tracking link in Twitch below my thing. There's a thing, just click there and it takes you to it. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for joining me. Take care. Good night. And God bless.